Welcome to the Smarter Science of Slim, the scientifically proven program where you eat more and exercise less to burn fat and boost health.
Eat smarter, exercise smarter, live better. I am so ready for that.
Hey everybody, Jonathan Bailor back with another bonus Smarter Science of Slim show. Very, very excited about today's show because we're bringing back a friend of the show, and they're here for some exciting reasons because they've for a long time had this really awesome website, which you know you're already familiar with and will of course give much love to on the show. But they've taken all of that digital learning they've done with literally, I would say, hundreds of thousands of people online at this point, and taken it all and condensed it into a brilliant book called The Fit-Bottomed Girls Anti-Diet, 10-minute fixes to get the body you want and the life you'll love, which is super exciting. So I am very excited to welcome the founder, one of the founders of the popular health and fitness site, Fit-Bottomed Girls, Jennipher Walters, back to the show. What's up, Jennipher?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me. I love talking with you.
Well, thank you, Jennipher. I love working with you as well. And when I saw the title of your upcoming book, which is going to be released, it looks like this May, called The Fit-Bottomed Girls, again, Anti-Diet, 10-minute fixes to get the body you want and the life you'll love. Anything that says anti-diet and is opposed to just telling people to starve themselves and to spend their life on human hamster wheels, I will support. So tell me a little bit about the motivation behind this book.
Yeah. So, we've been doing fitbottomedgirls.com for, like 5.5 years now. And we have a really strong mission. And it was started from a really strong mission that, people, but especially women, are more than the number on the scale. A lot of us kind of judge our self-worth on like how much we weigh or what we look like. And so we kind of wanted to break free of kind of all of that just mental baggage and get people stop dieting and just kind of start living and embracing a healthy lifestyle. So through all of our posts and reviews and everything we do on the website, we got to the point where we're like, gosh, we kind of want to give people a plan or a guideline or something that's more in depth that kind of puts all of our experience into words, into a guide. So we created the Fit-Bottomed Girls Anti-Diet, which is basically a manifesto, to like our mission and to how to be a fit bottom girl inside and out. And a lot of it is a lot of interior work, in addition to choosing the right foods and, moving your body and that sort of stuff. But it's basically the 10 principles on how to be a fit bottom girl.
I'm excited.
All about experience, yeah.
Well, I love it. I want to dig into, can't give away the farm certainly on the show, but I want to dig into some of those 10 principles. But before we get there, Jennipher, can you tell me a little bit about Fit-Bottomed Girls? That's a bottomed. I want to know a little bit more about the bottomed in the title of the book as well as the title of your website. What inspired that?
Yeah. Well, first let me say that we think that fit bottoms come in all shapes and sizes. It's not about the size of your rear. It's about what you do with it, like how you move it, how healthy it is. Because we have a lot of people who are just like, but I don't have a fit bottom. And I'm like, if you're moving it, it's fit, like rock it, girl. But originally the idea came from, we were trying to find something, a name for, a fitness inspired site or brand that would be fun and encouraging and kind of make you giggle a little bit, not take things so seriously, not be so hardcore and be really encouraging. And literally I was sitting at a baseball game with my husband and we were kicking around ideas and, because this is 5 years ago when the Kansas City Royals were like terrible. So there was like nothing to do with the game except for, apparently talk about my upcoming business. So kicking around ideas, and I'm a big Queen fan. And so is my business partner, Aaron Whitehead. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, what if we did a play on fat bottomed girls and we did fit bottomed girls instead? And it was one of those moments where you're just like, yeah, that's it. Like that just feels right. And you just know, you're like, that's it.
Well, Jennipher, I love it. And this is going to get a little bit geeky, but we're both fans of strong people, and specifically strong women. We don't want to starve ourselves. We don't want to shrink down. We want to be strong. And the largest muscle in our body, right? Like the area we can actually do the most is with our bottom, and it's completely under our control. Like I had no bottom, none. I looked like Kermit the Frog. But then I spent some time doing some smarter exercise, and I think I'm a fit-bottomed guy now.
I would consider you to be a fit-bottomed dude. We call you fit-bottomed dudes, our male raiders. But yeah, the butt is like the biggest part, and a lot of women and men are, just like, oh, I don't have a butt, or my butt's too big, or my butt doesn't look right. And so it's kind of like flipping all of that to be like, oh no, it's fit, it's, move it, like do it, love it.
I love it. Well, I love a good fit bottom. So that is awesome. Awesome. So tell me a little bit about these 10 steps, maybe your favorite 3, and how we can use those starting today.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They're all like, I go through, because we're editing the book, we've gone through the process so many different times. And I feel like every single time I go through and like read it, there's a new one that I kind of love a little bit more. But I would say, let's see, of the 10, love yourself. And we do love yourself. It's probably one of my biggest, best principles that I think, any sort of health journey has to begin with, or weight loss journey or getting fit journey has to start with a place of self-love. Like you can't hate yourself healthy or hate yourself, thin. It's not a possibility. Because what's the point of being a smaller size if you don't like yourself? Like it doesn't matter. So you might as well like who you are now, and then allow that kind of self-love to propel you and motivate you to make better choices and take better care of yourself. So that's one of them.
Jennipher, just real quick before you move on to number 2, because I couldn't agree with that one more, and it makes me smile from ear to ear, because I think so often we're told by the mainstream to start from a place of inadequacy, right? Like all cosmetic companies, many clothing companies, like it's all just saying like you're not good enough, right, and you need to do all of these things to make yourself good enough. Whereas, so they use, it's like it's the stick approach, whereas the carrot approach, like what you're talking about, which is if you see yourself as a brilliant, valuable gem, you just naturally will not do things like, why would you wouldn't throw that beautiful diamond ring into a mud puddle. You just wouldn't do that because you love yourself so much. Is that on the right track?
Oh, absolutely. And I would say that piece of it is like such a fundamental core of the book and just our mission. That's where everything starts from. So even the other principles kind of like build off of that. And that, we have a principle that's like, move your body, doing the activities that you love. Again, it's all back to the things that you love, the things that make you feel good. And then one of the other principles is eat according to your hunger, like listen to your hunger always, which again is trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, loving yourself, and showing yourself that love through the choices that you make. And really, you know it, like living a healthy lifestyle isn't just about the exercise and isn't just about eating the good foods, although clearly that is like incredibly uber important, but it's also about, how do you deal with stress? How do you deal with relationships? How do you look at, do you have a support system? Are you sleeping at night? We tend to kind of put health and fitness into, just the workouts or the diet, but you have to look at everything in a full context and really, making healthier decisions and taking care of yourself more has ripple effects into all areas of your life, not just the look of your body. And our main goal is to make you feel better, because when you feel better, good things happen. I think we all want to look a certain way, but at the end of the day, we're really going for a feeling where we feel good in our own skin and we have the energy and we're able to do the things that we want to do. I think that's really what we want, not just, the beauty cream or the weight loss drug that's going to help you fit in the skinny jeans.
Jennipher, it reminds me of, I was having a conversation with my brother probably 2 years ago at this point, and he made a really good thought experiment. We have these like deep philosophical conversations, and he was like, Jonathan, if you could wave a magic wand and you could weigh 30 pounds less, but feel terrible and look worse and hate yourself and not be able to function in the world, Or if you could wave a magic wand and your weight didn't change at all, but you felt dramatically different, you looked dramatically different, and you were able to manifest the unique glory that you were put on this earth to do, which would you choose? And of course, the obvious choice is the second one. But
Right.
if we have a scale in our house, we're not pursuing that one.
Right. And we're just not thinking of it. We're not thinking of it that way. You know, we don't think of it as more of like a spiritual journey, which it kind of really is, you know?
It absolutely is. And that just to get even more metaphysical, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a these things, tell me your thoughts, you know, all this eating, exercise, stress relief, sleep, these are all, they are not the end. They are the means so that we can do valuable work. Like Jennipher, neither you nor I nor any of our listeners were put here, regardless of your spiritual beliefs, to count calories and to walk on a treadmill. Like that's not our unique contribution to the earth.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So
let's like focus.
Your mental space should not be taken up by counting exactly like, okay, breakfast was this many calories and I weighed this and I burned this many calories and oh God, I had that slice of pizza last night. So today I have to run an extra mile on the treadmill because I read somewhere that blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you are clearly put on the earth to do more than that. Clearly, all of us.
And Jennipher, what are some of the tips and tricks? Like you mentioned, you know, using music you love, but are there like on some level we all get this stuff, but it's nice to have these go-to tools and techniques to remind ourselves of it. So do you have any of those, like when you get down or when you feel not motivated or when the media makes you feel inadequate, just do this?
Yeah, we actually, within the book, we have 10-minute fixes for every single one of the principles. So there's like 100 different 10-minute fixes that help you embrace that principle just 10 minutes at a time. And so we have tons of ideas like that. Because I think that a lot of times people think that, you know, making a change is going to take a huge overhaul of your life or a huge time commitment and everything. And sure, it can if you want to go down that route, but you really can do itty bitty little things that help you out. So some of like in 10 minutes or less. So like one of the 10-minute fixes that we talk about in terms of making you feel better about the number on the scale is actually like 10 minutes to just literally get rid of the scale. Like put it in, you know, make a vow to yourself, like write it down on a piece of paper. I'm only going to take this scale out, you know, once a week or once a month, and I'm going to weigh myself and I'm going to write an affirmation that this number has nothing to do with my value or my self-worth. It is just a number. And then like go, because a lot of people, they can't stay off the scale. Like if it's in the bathroom, you know, it's just habit. So we're like, take the 10 minutes, write out those affirmations, and then take your scale and go put it in a closet or put it under the bed or put it in the garage, you know, put it somewhere where you have to physically go get it. And then just try to break that habit and give yourself some mental space every morning where that's not the start to your day, is just that number. So that's one of ours. I'm trying to think of some other motivational ones we have that kind of make you really feel better about yourself. Like one of our 10-minute, we have a lot of different 10-minute workouts as well. And one of them is pairing movements to affirmations that you say either out loud if you're by yourself, or I guess you could say in front of people too, or just in your head, you know. So if maybe you're really self-conscious about, you know, your butt. And so, you know, you say as you're, you know, going down into squat, like, I love my butt. It's so strong. It can do so much, you know, and you're repeating all these like positive things. So you're kind of flipping what you've seen as negative into more of a positive.
Jennipher, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. And in fact, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna put you on the spot because I think that first recommendation around putting the scale somewhere else, I'm gonna suggest that you and I take that one step further and that we start a movement. And that is to put these scales out of their misery and to actually have a bit of a formal ceremony, either by yourself or with your friends, where you take your scale outside and with some sort of blunt object as well as a cell phone camera, I want you to videotape freeing yourself forever from the chains represented by that scale. I want you to have, like, think of, if you've seen the movie Office Space,
yes.
I want you to do to the scale what they do to the fax machine, and then I want you to upload it to YouTube, and I want you to encourage your friends and family members to do the same thing, and let's start a movement that frees us from these archaic, irrelevant, degrading measures?
I love it. What's our hashtag?
We can figure that out off the air.
Okay. I was like, we'll obviously need a hashtag. I love that. Yes, office space style, free yourself from this scale. I love it.
Brilliant. Well, Jennipher, tell us a bit more about where we can pick up a copy of the Fit Bottom Girls Anti-Diet 10-Minute Fixes to get the body you want and the life you'll love, as well as how to get information in the meantime.
Yeah. On May 6th, it'll be everywhere. It'll be Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere you can buy a book, it will be there. In the meantime, we are doing, anyone who wants to pre-order the book, it is available online pre-order, so that as soon as you get it, or as soon as it comes out on May 6th, you can, it'll automatically be on its way to your doorstep, or it'll be on your Kindle if you ordered an ebook. And then I know in January on fitbottomgirls.com, we'll be doing a lot more about the book and kind of probably, giving a little bit of content and sharing some 10-minute fixes. And there may be a few other extras if you pre-order. Let me bribe you with some fun things like recipes and such. So more to come on fitbottomgirls.com. But we're just really excited to have the opportunity to write a book about, what we think people should do and that people are interested in it. Love it.
Brilliant, Jennipher. Well, I couldn't support your mission and endorse it any more heavily, so I have no doubts that this book, The Fit Bottom Girls Anti-Diet, is going to be an amazing tool for all of our listeners. So again, listeners, check out fitbottomgirls.com. Our delightful and inspirational guest today was Jennipher Walters. And again, Jennipher, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to read your book.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm very excited about it as well. Listeners, as always, thank you for joining us. And please remember, eat smarter, exercise smarter, and live better. Chat with you soon.
Wait, don't stop listening yet.
You can get fabulous free SANE recipes over at carriebrown.com.
And don't forget your 100% free eating and exercise quick start program, as well as free, fun, daily tips delivered right into your inbox at bailorgroup.com. That's Bailor group.com.